Hey, everybody, Musha the Scribe, sending out all light, love, and healing energy to the celestial beings of the cosmos. I didn't plan on doing this video tonight, but with the previous uploads and things, I'm compelled to do so, so here it is. I think I'm going to entitle this video, A Brief History of the Lyrans. So the Lyrans are a feline and feline humanoid race created by Anu, the Most High, the leader of the Annunaki, who genetically spliced into existence the different races from the Lyrans to the Reptilians to the Nomos, etc. The Lyrans were originally created by Anu as the first, what we would call, pet race. Just a new being, a new race of being that could be a companion to the Annunaki. Something that Anu and the Annunaki could love and trust and have a partnership with and a companionship with, and share energy. A partner that wasn't an Annunaki or a being of that level, but a lower level, entity and being that they could have love for, companionship for, and share experiences and energy with. The Lyran, they were in the Lyran star constellation. Their brightest star was called Vega. After their creation, over millenniums and things, they began to ascend, as all beings are supposed to, going from the straight up feline form to the feline humanoid form, taking on more of the Anunnaki or Annunaki form, as planned. They were at first a basic race, a pet race. Cats, lions, tigers, lynx, etc., of that nature. And then over the years and years, they began to excel and began to deal with different technologies and things. Even though they began to excel and ascend, they never hit the point which we would call like an advanced civilization or anything at first. They were comfortable in the position they were in because of how they were created and why they were created. The feline race and the reptilian race share a lot of the same genetic code. Mother Huber, a scientist underneath of Anu, was the one who created the reptilian as we know it. And she used some of the genetic code from the Lyrans, so that's why you see why like felines and reptiles share the same like eye, the same pupil, the same serpentine movement. They share a trait called the glottis, which allows them to purr or hiss. That's a genetic trait called the glottis. The pupil with the diamond shape with dilation and everything is shared between the reptile and the feline for this reason, because Mother Huber designed her own model but used traits of the feline genetic. So over the years, the feline ascends and things. They start to move like us on 2 feet, hands and everything. They start to get a little bit more advanced. Their planet, Lyra, had like purple skies, blue, green, and purple grass that was interactive and moved because it was alive. They shared the planet with other, what we would call vegans, because they were from the Vegas, under the Vega star, they were Lyrans, but the vegans, different natural beings of the planet and things of that nature. The Lyrans didn't really begin to ascend and excel on the level of the Annunaki or the humanoid being until war was brought to them from the Reptilians, and not from the Omega and Alpha Draconians, but from the lower level Reptilians who had a more low vibrational nature, more maleficent nature and things. The Lyran system and planet itself had a pink crystal called Thundrillium. And this thing is like, if you could compare it to Marvel right now, it's the vibranium of the ancients. And it just so happened that they had this pink Thundranium crystal, free energy, that the Reptilians wanted to get their hands on. So that's when the war began. They tried to intercept the planet of the feline race for years and years. The felines begin to ascend, evolve, get more humanoid, more Anunnaki-like or Annunaki-like, defend themselves, and war waged on over this crystal and over the fact that the lower level reptilians wanted to dominate this other race. The whole time when they ran into each other, there was a sense of, I know you, but I don't know where I know you from. You feel like family, but I can't consider you family because I want to be on a tyranny clause right now and things. So they knew they shared a genetic thing, not just with the eyes, but with other things, even with the movements, the scent, the motion, and the overall mannerisms. They were affected by all of that. And realize that, that this is familiar, and things. But of course, on the reptilian side, it's like, get with us or get lost, roll with us or get rolled over. And that's how they was rocking. So with them trying to dominate over all the races and planets and trying to harvest the Thundrillium crystal from this planet and everything, it was war. And the Lyrans, I won't say they were basic. I won't say that they were like cavemen or anything. We would still call them advanced, from our aspect. But they weren't as advanced as the reptilian was. And they weren't fluent in warfare as the reptilian was. So you take these feline race, these Lyrans who are warrior, they have different hierarchy and class. Thundercats, that's a real thing. That was the elite group. And there was a group underneath of that as well, but I can't remember the name right now, so I don't want to say the wrong thing. But regardless, they wore light heavy armor, which is light armor that could withstand certain pressures and forces, against it and everything. So they had light amounts of protection. They had a light amount of technology and weaponry to their disposal, but they were not prepared for a race that was created for war, because Mother Heber created the reptilian. She had Anu thinking that it was something that we could use against the insectilians because they so body. They was going crazy and we needed something to war with them. When the whole time she was trying to create a elite class to go up against Anu and take his position. So these niggas were built for war, built for violence, built for fucking shit up. And so when they put up on the Lyrans, it wasn't like a fair fight. They were coming with plasma, automatic, mech, all the weapons you could name, the most deadly shit. And the deadliest thing that they used were the nuclear weapons. That's what brought down the fall of Lyra. Was we're rolling with y'all back and forth. All we really here for is to erase and eradicate y'all's race and get these crystals. We just gonna hit y'all niggas with a bunch of nukes. So they hit them with a bunch of nukes. Some of the Lyrans escaped and had assistance from the Syrians and the Andromedans. Shout out to them, who got some of the Lyrans into the Sirius galaxy, which y'all probably hear about now. And some of them were with the Andromedans and things. And here on this blue earth that we call Kai or Tiamat, you know, they still exist, and they're here to guide us from the third dimensional plane, which is this physical realm we exist in, up until the fifth and sixth. You know, so we can ascend as beings, so we can get closer to reaching our maximum potential. But the lesson from them is not only defense and protection and learning from, you know, what they went through, but it's also offense and war, because you have to remember, even when the Annunaki came down, some of them took, like Osiris took the avatar of the Hindu, green body beings, blue body beings, the Hindu beings. But then you have the ones like Bastet, Sekhmet, Mahis, who took the avatars of the Lyran, because they were fierce, you know, lean body, sharp teeth, strong, agile cat beings, you know, good for warfare. And that's why they took those forms and things, and they were praised in Egypt and all that, because they didn't have to. With the Anunnaki, it's like, if you can transfer your essence, you can put your soul in the body. They didn't have to take feline traits. They didn't have to take what we would call human traits or reptilian traits. They could take whatever. So some beings went with the Hindu bodies like Osiris, so he was green and things. But then you had some of the beings like Bastet and Sekhmet, who went with the Lyran humanoid body type. You know, I rocked out with that. So at this point, it's like, when you're working with the Lyrans, you're working with a civilization who is compassionate, loving, and understanding, and created by the Most High to be a partner and companion, you know, that ended up having to ascend to a level to where they could defend themselves with war. So they have the best of both worlds, with the upper chakras and lower chakras, positivity and negativity. They exercise all these things, so it's great to work with them right now. You just have to do a little bit of research and figure out, if you're working with this being, they specialize in these traits. Their energy specializes in these traits, counter to other beings. So certain beings that are of the Lyran descent can give you love, compassion, fertility, guidance, abundance, overall love. But then if you work with certain ones, all they know is war, bloodshed, bloodlust, violence, homicide, things of that nature, because, you know, those are the experiences that they had. Overall with this though, remember, they are a direct creation of Anu. They are pretty much the original, and I'll say this with an explanation, they're the original reptilian before the reptilian existed, with the maleficence and with the genetic modification of being war-bound soldiers, tyrants, murderers, maniacs, lunatics, for that lunar shit. Y'all understand and understand what I'm saying. But they were that before that was. You feel me? So this is just a brief history on the Lyrans and things. I'm trying to think of anything that I've missed. I did a video on it before. I'll do another one and probably break it down and use clips from the show and things. But for all my 80s babies, 90s babies, 2000 and up, rewatch the original Thundercats, because it shows you actual history of what happened with Lyra, with the feline race going up against the reptilian and insectoid race, how it played out, the Thundercats as a class and hierarchy of the Lyrans, and that other class that I can't exactly put my finger on the name of right now, but the lower class underneath of them. It's a great example. That's one of those shows that came out in the 80s that exposed a lot of information without exposing a lot of information. You know, they have to give you the truth if they lie. So they can lie and make it an animation, call it a cartoon, or call it science fiction and whatnot, but they still have to put the truth in there because it's cosmic law. So I'll leave you with that. I'll try to follow up on this video if anybody needs me to. But I'll be back in soon. Hit y'all with some more information. But I feel like that's primarily what I needed to get off right now at the moment. You never know. I might post something after this that don't got nothing to do with it, but we'll see. Love y'all, man. Mad love, mad love, mad love.